Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Alchemist Awakening. Now, for those of you who maybe thought we had stopped playing this game, that could be further from the truth, guys. Basically, we were waiting for the game to kind of fix itself because it had, it's still in development, so it's not like really fixing itself. It had a couple of patches that made the game unplayable to us, and one of the things that it did was actually kind of mess up the protection tool or device that you can put down in your house that allows you to kind of save it. And that's what this little thing right here is. This, if you click on it, will tell you where the protection is and what it's actually saving here. Now, this looks like a community of different people's houses. I haven't actually been up here. Free mill, vent. Okay, so we can go ahead and take some wind here. Undertale, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. This guy's house has been griefed a little bit. Please serve us. Okay, so we got a little bit more electricity over here. We'll definitely snag some of that. That's stuff that kind of regenerates whether you're using it or not. So, if you take that, you're not really taking somebody else's stuff. That's a lot of little iron right there. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of cool. I like what they did over here, but yeah, they kind of messed this little device up to where not only did it not work, but it actually took it out of the game for a little while. So yeah, somebody griefed our area over there, and until we could fix it and get it back to where it was protected, we were like, there's really not a whole lot of purpose of continuing to come back and make sure everything's safe, and just it didn't make any sense to spend a lot of time and do that. So we were going to give them a little bit of time to kind of fix that, and they definitely have done that so far. So everything is working right now. Basically, all I'm doing is coming over here and letting my guys, mine a little bit of these resources. Now, in case you're wondering, like, how do you do that? Because it is something that took us a little while to figure out. I will show you exactly how that is done. In fact, let me tell that guy to start mining again. But yeah, you just kind of come over to an area on the map that is not protected. That beginning place is a protected area, so you can't put anything down, you can't take anything away, and then you go ahead and build yourself a little dude. Now, you can build this in any shape, form, however you want. I have not seen anybody build a form that seems to be better than anybody else's. Some of them look better. Some of them look like they function a little bit more and they actually look like humans. But as far as actually mining and doing everything else, they all seem to work just the same, and they all seem to carry the same amount of resources. So once you have that, you need to use some life. Now, the only way to make life is to use all the resources together. You can go ahead and click on them. You can see I'm pretty low on crystal. That's one thing that I'm missing right here. And that's going to give you life right there. Now, you're going to need one life for every block that you have in there. So hopefully I have enough right here. And if I click it, boom, it used all my life, and now I have a little guy. If I right click on him, it will show the stuff that I can tell him to do. I'm not going to tell him to do anything right now because he's already on follow. So I'm going to have him come down here and follow me, and I'll send him to work over here on this little thing as well. And that way, when I come back, all this stuff will be ready for me to mine or take off of them. Now, keep in mind, anybody who comes over here is able to loot these guys. So if you do this during a peak hours when there's lots and lots of people on, and you keep coming back here and you're like, it's always empty, right? There's never anything here. Well, it could be somebody's taking it. The same thing for the mine, for the stone. You can go ahead and get some more of those little workers to do that one. And you can see kind of what the idea is. The shape, anyways, that they want you to build is right here. So if you match that up, your guy's going to look pretty normal. It's going to look pretty good. There also is another rock over here that actually it used to be over here. It's actually gone now. So I wonder if that is if that's a thing or not. But I'm going to show you guys our house, or at least what's left of it. There has been some, like I said, griefing to it. Although the person who griefed it did kind of use an imagination to it, at least I guess I should say. He kind of made it look like an asteroid had fallen into it. So that's kind of unique, I guess, but it's still griefed it just the same. But there it is right there. There's a couple little houses and stuff. Not ours. Ours is down the beach off to the side. You can see a lot of YouTubers were on here. A lot of people leaving their mark and letting people know who they are and stuff, which is cool. It's kind of nice to be part of that crowd and just kind of see what other people are doing, because some of them spend a lot of effort, some of them not so much. And ours is a little bit further down. We didn't really want to be so close to the entrance because we figured there'd be people griefing and doing all this stuff and wanting to build stuff up. We wanted ours to be off to the side and just kind of unique all on its own. And there it is. It's loading up right there. Let's see, what does this guy leave? Renovations? Yeah, with a little exclamation mark. Yeah, we didn't do this, guys. We did not put this big freaking hole in the middle of our base. In fact, let me go all the way up so you guys can see. They went all the way up to the top. Like, I built this. I went all the way up here, and I built the platforms, and, I built the whatever you call it, the glass, so that it would look nice and pretty, and you could come out here and get a nice, good view of everything. We kind of showed you that on some of the other videos where we have the 4 biomes out here at our fingertips. But somebody came over here and decided that, hey, they should do the exact same pattern all the way down to the bottom. And that's exactly what they did, all the way down. In fact, I'll go down a little faster if we can. And you'll see it goes through this one, as well as the next one, and the next one, and the next one, all the way down to the very bottom. And at the very bottom, they had a little pit of fire. What does this one say? Oh, yeah, it fell from the sky, right? Yeah, it fell from the sky right there. And it keeps going down and down and down. So, I guess, when I said they did it with a creative aspect to griefing, I'm being honest on that one. This is kind of creative, but in the same way that you're still griefing somebody's house. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, there's a big fire pit down here with all the little torches and stuff. I got rid of that and a little sign and things of that sort. And we just need to rebuild it. So we need more resources. We need more stone. We need more, more wood or iron and things of that sort. So that's what I have those guys over there doing at the moment. And I'm going to let them keep doing that now. In a minute, I'm going to go ahead and type /spawn, and it will teleport us back to the entrance, back to where we started over there. And hopefully it will, there will be some stuff ready for me to go ahead and snag from these guys, if I can find them real quick. Let me fly over here. Where are you at? There they are. All right, let me go in here and go to my trade. We'll go to trade, and I will just take a whole bunch of these resources. Now, this is kind of a cheat because it kind of lagged out there. And when it lags out and you click on it to mine it, it just keeps trading the stuff with you. Even though there's only 61 there, it keeps going. So, yeah, it's a cheat, but in the same respect, I lost like all of my resources because one of the other, kind of... glitches was that you would have all these resources on you, like the stone, the air that I have on my hotbar right now. That's not in a crate or anything of that sort, right? That stuff used to just disappear. Like it would literally just poof on you, and you'd be like, "What the crap?" Right? Like I think I had something like 100,000 air. Because, air is real easy to get. It doesn't really take that, it's not really that difficult. So I had tons and tons of it. In fact, right now, if you look at it, it just says tool. That's how much air we have. That once you reach, I think, 2,000 or something of it, it literally turns into a tool of its own. So, yeah, I have a lot of air. And I had a lot more of it before until that little bug came out. And then all of a sudden, all my air is gone. In fact, not only was all of our air gone, but all the stone was gone. I remember spending like 12 or 14 hours one day, over the course of like 2 or 3 days, collecting a whole bunch of stone, putting it in the crate, waiting for me and Cypher to be on so we could, go ahead and build, another like 30, 40 floors to our house. And, to lose all that is pretty heartbreaking. So I am kind of exploiting a little bug in the game, but only so much as to get the stuff back that I lost. And then once I get to that point, I'm not going to be exploiting that. And I'm not telling you guys to exploit that either. This is still an experimental kind of server. I'm sure at some point he's going to wipe it all anyways. So all this stuff is going to be gone. It's not like we're going to be keeping it. But yeah, I would not really, recommend you guys doing that unless, of course, you lost a lot of stuff and you kind of want to get a little bit of that back without having to go out there and, mine a whole bunch more, because that's kind of a pain in the butt. It takes a little while, and to be honest, if you lose all that, yeah, it's kind of... I know he can't go on there and he can't give you all back. I guess he could if he was on every day, and he might be. It's been I think about a couple weeks since I've logged on, so he used to come on every day. Or Osiris, which is the name of the game company who makes it. Somebody there has a character called Osiris Games or whatever, and they would log on and you'd be able to talk to them, which I thought was one of the coolest aspects of this game, is just being able to talk to the actual developers and kind of get a feel for where they're going with things, and what direction they're going to be coming up with new stuff down the road. And I like that quite a bit. But let's see, I guess we're going to let's start with the bottom floors just to kind of get that going back up again. So let's see, how did we make those stone? It's been so long. I think it's the dark slab, actually. Yeah, dark slab. So it uses stone, which we have very, very little of, and then the iron as well, which we have a little bit of now. We have like 2,000. So we're gonna have to go back there and get a little bit more stone here. Hopefully, there's gonna be a nice chunk there. Now, of course, the more you lag out, the more of those resources you're gonna be able to get using that little technique. But again, try not to abuse it, guys. It's really yeah. I don't know what to say on that one. I only use it because of one reason. But let's get this in there. I hate having this floor messed up the way it was. It took me so long to get this up and running the way I wanted it the first time. And we're out of blocks. That's why I won't make any more. Dang, it's already? It didn't take too long. And my glass windows, you have no idea, guys. No idea how long I sat there and went to the desert region. Like, the desert region is not easy to get a lot of sand. Like, even when you go there, there's not these huge boulders or anything like that that you can kind of destroy. Like, if you come up and down the beach here, you might see a area that has a lot of stone, and you can kind of take advantage of that. But with the sand, no, you really won't. You won't find that. He actually has a little bit of fire in there just to kind of give it a little bit of flavor. Because as long as you have some wood burning in there or you have fire made, it's going to give that illusion of like fire in the oven. Whereas if you don't have anything in there, it's just going to look like it's empty and there's nothing in there. So I like how he put a couple pieces in there. Just in case somebody came by, all they're going to get is like two, but it has the illusion. Oh, look at that house. That's kind of a cool house. I like that. I even like the color. That's a nice color, guys. Let's go up there. And you can see he has his stuff here just so nobody griefs him. Nice and protected all the way up. The fact that it goes as high as you want it to really is going to make these houses do what we're doing, which is go all the way to the ceiling. It's pretty nuts. I like that. Look at that. It's a beautiful view right there. He has the ocean. He has the ice right there across. A little bit of the green biome if he doesn't want to look at the ice anymore. So, ooh, we took some damage there, huh? Wow, you can't fall very far in this game anymore. You used to be able to fall a little bit farther than that and not take any damage. So they've changed a few things, definitely, since the last time we've been on. I'm really just looking for like a castle, not made by a player, but made by, the computer generated kind of thing. What does this say? That guy went around and literally left a sign at every single person's house asking them to come over just with that little coordinates thing. And it's the same guy who left the little thing of fire in our house. So when I went over there and I actually found him just to kind of see what he had created since he destroyed ours a little bit, I wasn't going over there for revenge or anything, but I just wanted to see, like, he's leaving notes at everybody's house. Like, he must have done something, like, fantastic or something, right? And I go over there, and, there's signs everywhere saying, thanks for griefing me, and his whole place is destroyed. And I'm like, you know what, dude? I don't know if you started it. I don't know if you, grief somebody first, and then they just went over there to grief you, but he griefed me. So I'm guessing somebody wasn't too happy about that, and they went back over there and, well, maybe not happy about griefing me, but I'm sure he griefed somebody else, and they may have not been too happy about that. So that's probably why he was griefed on that one. One of the main things, guys, don't ever have a door on your house unless you want people to come in. You can't block that. So if you do have a door, when you log off for the day, somebody else can use that door to come inside your house and, loot your chest or whatever the case may be. So yeah, just be aware of that. We had to close ours up completely so people wouldn't be able to get in. Again, that guy is there using his little thing. So let's keep going. I think the coast is probably going to be pretty clear of stone. So we're going to have to go maybe a little bit deeper into the area to see if we can find a temple or some kind of ruins, a guard tower. Those are the best. The guard towers, I think they have close to like 300 to 400 stone on them when you destroy them. And they also got a fair amount of wood and things of that sort. So a really, really nice find to go ahead and get some of that, if we can find one that hasn't been destroyed already. Now, I do believe they regenerate at some point, but I don't know how far we'll have to go to find one. Oh, there might be something over here. No. That was one. What's left of it? There's almost nothing left of it, though. So we're going to have to keep looking for another one. I don't know if they will like despawn that one, or if that's just like until it's completely destroyed, that's just gonna be there. Ooh, there's some people's houses down here at least. Let's take a look at that, guys. Let's take a look at their house. Ooh, he has some pretty nice windows. And there's a cactus. Cactuses, I don't believe were in the game when we were playing last. So that's something new. Only the owner can open this chest? Oh, so that's the difference of doing like the iron chest versus the wooden chest. That's cool. And he put a cactus in there. There's like a little window. How did he get that glass? That's like beautiful pane glass right there. I like that. Huh. And this wall is kind of cool looking too. I like the look of that. Wonder what that is. And then he has a little bed. Haven't made a bed yet. Haven't made a bed. That's kind of interesting. That's something they had recently added in the tutorial when we were stopping to play is the bed. And they also added a few other things in the tutorial to kind of give you an idea of how to play the game a little bit better and some of the stuff you can make because, wow, this is a lot of freaking iron. Vigil is a good guy. Believe in Vigil. I see you. Vigil will help you if you are needy. Steam ID. There he goes, guys. There's the Steam ID. So if you want to check him out, let him know that you saw his house on my channel. Let him know that you're more than welcome. It's kind of cool. Like I said, there's a lot of YouTubers on here because it's kind of a closed beta at the moment. There's not really a lot of people who are allowed onto the game because it is still, like I said, really early development. So they're still fixing a lot of stuff and adding more stuff into it that kind of breaks things here and there. And I guess they don't really want the public to get a hands on a game that is still, a little ways off, but absolutely beautiful, guys. Like this is pretty close to being open. They just they have to get a few more things kind of refined before it's completely there. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of this stone. Now, if we teleport back to town, we can probably actually. Yeah, let's just teleport back to town. We'll probably get a little bit of stone that way if we can get back to my guy. Where is he at? There he is. All right, come on, give me some good stuff. Have a whole bunch. Come on, give it to me, give it to me. Yeah, we got a little bit. We got 2,000. 2,000 is not bad. So go ahead and mine, guys. Go ahead and mine. And we're going to fly back to my base so that we can start putting some of those floors down because I kind of want to rebuild a little bit on this episode. Building was something that we never really showed too much of. We kind of, did it in between takes and then came back on and be like, okay, so this is the progress we made. And I just want to show you guys what it involves and how intuitive it actually is. I mean, a lot of games that I've played before, when you're building stuff, it makes you like Minecraft. You really want to have scaffolding, but you don't. Like you don't have scaffolding in that game. This one, you really don't need scaffolding. Like it gives you so many other right kind of moves when you're putting stuff down. It knows where you want to go with that, and it's like, okay, we'll just connect it. Or I can drag it across, and I can connect multiple blocks together. Whereas like in Minecraft, you kind of have to do one by one. So yeah, this thing is definitely made to kind of give you that benefit of the doubt, that advantage, because they know that the joy comes in the building and not necessarily in the the hassle of the building. Like you're not playing the game so you can be like, oh, okay, this feels exactly like real life. I'm literally laying a brick down and having like the pains of carrying it over, or my back is killing me and all this other stuff. Like you don't want that. You just want the enjoyable part of building. So that's kind of what they're trying to give you here, and I think they've done a pretty good job with it. There we go. Can we get that in there? No, we cannot for some reason. Well, let me put it there. All right. Show protected area. There we go. Okay, so I want to keep that protected area on just so I can see what my borders are because it's been a while. Now, as I said before, I kind of want to close these walls up, but I think I had windows here last time. So I think I'm going to do that again. I think I'm going to have windows yet again in this area, but I'm going to have to go and mine some more sand before I can do that. Is there a window there right now? No, there's not a window there right now. Something was kind of freaking it out. I don't know. Let's get this up there. But yeah, I kind of want... It's still doing it. It's like it recognizes that there should be something here, but there's not. I guess because I did have the stairs there. You can see right here the stairs used to be in this location, but like I said, somebody's kind of griefed it. So let's get rid of this because I think maybe that's kind of messing it up. Let's put these things back. Come on, there you go. This side, I think, didn't have stairs. Or, I mean, didn't have a window because it's blocked by the stairs. So we're going to go ahead and seal that in. Of course, we can always take this stuff out. So even if you did have stair or windows and you're like, oh, well, maybe I'll add them later, it's pretty easy to add them later. It doesn't really take that much effort. Let's see. We got that underneath there. Yeah, it looks good. Stairs still right there. See, I can even add stuff all the way up there, and it will go past it a little bit. And instead of making me have to go all the way up there myself, this definitely gives me that little advantage that you normally don't get in games like this, which is really, really cool. So let's do the corner pieces right up to that. I will seal this up all the way. I like having windows, though. It really, really... We have a really nice spot, to be honest. So it's kind of quite beautiful. We got the ocean, and we got the forest on one side, desert on another, the ice on the other side, and it really just kind of lends itself to opening yourself up and seeing the beauty of the area, which sounds kind of weird in a video game, but the video games nowadays, guys, they're getting so beautiful that it really is breathtaking to watch some of these, especially like with the VR. VR, guys, is going to change the game. I kid you not. I've seen like entertainment that's coming out for it, and they were doing one episode of like a remake of the School of Rock one with Jack Black in it, and this one didn't have Jack Black. It had a different actor, but he was doing the same scenes with the same dialogue and everything. And one of the things he was talking about in that one was, in the classroom they were sitting there, and he was like, I didn't know you guys were a bunch of douchebags. He's like, I had no idea you could sing, and it sounds weird and everything like that when he says it, but it's part of the movie. And when he was doing that, the way it was filmed was that it was three-dimensional, so you can go anywhere in that scene that you want to go. What does that exactly mean? Well, it means that if you want to sit at the desk with one of the students, which is where one of the guys was sitting when he was watching it on the VR, you can do that. If you want to sit over next to the front door or the door to the classroom and look at the stuff on the table while he's talking to his students, you can do that too. So you can watch your favorite movie a million different ways and see something different each time. So, the first time you watch it, you're going to be paying attention to the stuff like the director wants you to pay attention to, all the action on the scene. But later on, if you're watching like a James Bond movie and you want to see, hey, how exactly did that guy sneak up on me? Or how about a horror movie? He's like, how did that guy sneak up on me, right? You're able to finally do that. You're able to actually look over in that corner and see, oh, there he comes. If I had just been paying attention, I would have saw that coming. And that makes things a lot more challenging for directors. Like, they're going to have to find new ways of fooling you rather than knowing that, oh, you're going to be looking into that corner, because I'm forcing you to. I'm telling you the camera is going to be there and you don't have a choice, all right? So I know you're going to get, jump scared by that. You won't have that choice anymore. So they're going to have to just make things better because of it. They're going to have to become better, and you're going to have to learn how not to be scared, or, how to be scared all over again, because you're going to either ruin it for yourself, or, I don't know if you can say you ruin it for yourself, but if you are too good at, knowing when things are coming, then you're just never going to be scared again, probably, is what that comes down to. Or you're just always going to see it coming, like that kind of ruins it for some people. But for me, I think it kind of adds a unique take to it, because that allows those of us who like to see things coming to be like, yeah, I was already looking in that corner. Like when you talk to your friends about it and you be like, yeah, I saw that one coming. But other people won't. And so I don't know, it just adds that wow factor that just I've never seen in any other kind of medium. And and some people have compared it to like books versus movies or radio. Like, it's going to be a brand new type of experience that nobody's ever had before, that's going to completely and totally consume everybody who ever sees it. And I have to kind of agree with that assessment. From the parts that I've seen about VR, they are so absolutely fantastic that I would find it very, very hard to believe that people wouldn't prefer that over pretty much any other medium that they've ever had. That's saying something, considering movies are so loved, and there's a lot of stuff out there that is just really, really fantastic. But yeah, the VR just hands down is just absolutely amazing, and it's just starting. The whole thing is just starting. So I will be doing VR video games here in the future. I already have ordered mine. It's going to be the Vibe. I know the Oculus has gotten good reviews, but when you look at the hardware specs versus each other and the amount of games that are coming out with each one, everybody kind of agrees that the Vibe really has, or the V Vive, however you want to say that one, has a little bit more in the way of what I'm looking for. And what I'm looking for is the actual VR experience, the one where I get to move around and walk around in it. Whereas with the Oculus Rift, they've kind of been developing it for the sitting down purpose. So if you want to play VR in your chair, then that one is the one to go with. It's also cheaper. So if you're looking for like the cheaper version, however, it doesn't come with a remote, doesn't come with any games, and so there's some downsides to it. Whereas the Vive is, I think the Oculus was like 500 or 600, and the Vive is a 900. But it comes with two joysticks, remotes, whatever you want to call them. It comes with 3 games if you pre-order it. I don't know if it comes with that if you don't pre-order it, but it comes with the 3 games. And I already have like 15 games that have been kind of sent to me asking me to review them. So I'm going to have even more than that. But, that's another reason I kind of went with the Vive, is because the games I want to play are on that system. Whereas the Oculus Rift actually had more games to its name than the Vive did, because they actually released the specs, the hardware, for 2 years before it came out, whereas the Oculus or the Vive didn't really get to that until just recently. So it caught up though. Like the publishers, the game manufacturers, I think they've realized that they kind of shoot themselves in the foot when they do that silliness where, oh, I'm just going to be on the PlayStation, or I'm just going to be on the Xbox. And those companies actually, from what I heard, and I don't know if this is actually true, but from what I heard, they actually pay game companies to only be on one or the other. So you have like an exclusive contract with one of those companies, and they're like, okay, we'll pay you what you would have maybe earned if you had been on both of them. That way, we have people who are buying our system because, you have that one on there, like Halo and Jack and Dexter. I don't know if any of those games actually do it. I'm not trying to badmouth them at all. And even if they did, that still wouldn't be a badmouthing kind of thing, in my opinion, because they're perfectly within their right to do that. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I think they would make more money, and I think they realized they would make more money if they were just on more systems. And so they've kind of gotten away from that habit, I think, especially with computer companies or games that come out on the computer, and that's where the VR is really taken off, is on the computers. I think they've kind of realized that they're a different animal than consoles. Consoles act one way, and computer games have always kind of acted a different way, and it's always worked for them. So why kind of change it now in the game, especially this late in how they've always done things, and it seemed to always work for them. So I think that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep going up. But yeah, computers always kind of been a different beast, because when you want to come up with a new game for a computer, and you're like, okay, should we stick to lesser graphics? Should we pump it all the way up? You pretty much have whatever rule of thumb that you want. You want to make that game super graphic wise? Go ahead. There's people out there with good systems. If you don't, then don't. With a console, you're kind of like, well, these are the highest graphics we could possibly have, which may be state of the art when the console first comes out, and there never are. But even if you say they are at the moment, 1 to 2 years later, they definitely won't be, and they kind of still are left by that restriction. However, game consoles used to, they're definitely not doing this anymore. They used to last for about 5 years, and I mean they used to be 5 years, and then they'd come out with the next gen of that same console. So if you're a PlayStation owner, it'd be about 4 to 5 years, sometimes a little bit more, till they came out with the next one. And if you're an Xbox owner, the same thing for the new Xbox One. However, nowadays they are definitely doing it a little quicker. In fact, I heard recently that the Xbox was thinking about coming out with like an attachment to make theirs a little bit more powerful than it already is, because they're like, it's only been like 2 years since it came out. So that's kind of fast, guys. I mean, 2 years for a somewhat expensive, depending on what you think is expensive, a somewhat expensive, console, to already be talking about somewhat replacing it. And yeah, you're like, oh, it's just an add-on. Well, yeah, I guess it's just an add-on, but it's an add-on to something that already cost you an arm and a leg, and now they're charging you even more for the extra thing. And if you don't get the extra thing, then the new games that come out that use that extra power and that extra RAM and CPU and all that other stuff won't work on your old system. So you basically have a system that's worthless to you because you want to play those new games, but you can't. So in essence, because you can't play those games on your new system, then it is or your old system, then it is a new system that you're talking about. And yeah, there would be a grace period in there where any games that come out still work on the old one even without the upgrade. But you guys know how it works. You've seen it before where you come out with the Xbox and then the Xbox 360 comes out and the new games and the old games kind of fit together. They still work together for the most part. And then after about a couple months, all the games are just like, nope, you either have the new system or you don't. And that if you don't have it, you can't play our new games. So it'd be the same thing with the other thing. You'd have that grace period. And if you didn't get it within that amount of time, anything else that came out afterwards would probably follow in the same footsteps. I couldn't guarantee it. I can't say what they're thinking or what they would do. But if they follow tradition, then that's probably what would happen. So I don't know. I think a lot of gamers are just like, that's too quick, too much, too quick, too much money. I mean, every game that seems to be like a AAA title costs like $50-$60, sometimes more. I've seen games out there like $80, and that's a lot of money to spend, guys. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, it used to be, it was a kid thing. Like when I was young and you wanted something for Christmas, that's what it was. It was a console. Like we'd get to pick what console we wanted. We wouldn't get all the consoles. We get to pick which one we wanted. So we'd have to, and it would be a present for all my brothers and stuff like that. So we would get together and we'd be like, okay, which games do we like the most? And one brother would be like, oh, I like this one, and you like this one, and you like this one. And we're like, yeah, but Sony's coming out with theirs, or Sega's coming out with theirs, and we want to get that one. And you'd have to sit there and talk about it and argue about it for like half a year, if not longer, before you guys all agreed on, oh, you know what, maybe go with the Nintendo, right? Because we all like Nintendo games. There's a lot more of them. It's usually cheaper. They don't come out with one as often as the other guys, and it's a safer bet. And just, overall kind of discuss it. And then once you got it, it was like, okay, now we have to figure out what games we're going to ask for because we can only ask for so many, and yeah, it doesn't seem to be the case anymore. And it's because all those gamers have pretty much grown up, and the companies kind of looked at that and was like, hey, these guys actually have money now, right? They actually have jobs, and they're willing to plop down good money and on a lot of games at once to play them. And I think they went a little overboard. I think they realized, just how much money there was out there, and then they were like, oh, well, we can charge these guys whatever, and they're willing to pay it. And the VR definitely is up there on like the top of the line toy that is going to be costing them a lot. Like I said, it's about $500 to $600 for the Oculus Rift. And then, of course, with the Vive, it's $900. So, it's definitely a big purchase to buy. And one of the main reasons I'm doing it is so I can make videos for it. But I'm absolutely super excited to play the actual thing, because VR has been something that I have wanted to play since I can think back as far as I can remember, basically, is just been amazing. And the main reason I kind of bring it up when I do this game is because this game itself looks like it could lend itself really well to VR. Like if I looked out there and saw this in VR, that would be amazing. Like that would be absolutely beautiful to be able to kind of just fly around and see things in a new way, in a new system like that. So I'm not trying to get too much off the topic of this game. Like I like to kind of keep my discussions involved in the game that I'm playing and kind of go over any like tips and tricks and things of that sort. But it's kind of hard not to think about VR when I play this game, because you're talking about building a world, and then you're talking about exploring that world and being a part of that world. And like what more could you ask for in a VR game than that? And I think those games like the Minecraft and things of that sort, like this one, are really going to find a place that they never would have found on like consoles. One of the games I was actually looking at before was a old school arcade. An old school arcade, basically what I'm talking about is the arcade, where people used to go and play video games, arcade games together, and you'd hear all those the noises in the background and all that stuff. Somebody's made that kind of let me go ahead and destroy this. Somebody made that kind of experience all over again. You can hear like the change, and you get little tokens, little tickets that you can take up to the guy that's standing there and be like, oh, I want that. And he got a little teddy bear, and then he went back over there and hit it with his like whack-a-mole hammer and things. So it was like, it's really cool that that is becoming a reality. It's actually letting you bring back some of the old experiences that maybe some of the new generation have no idea what that's like to be in that part of an arcade. So you're gonna have programs that teach you how to like play tennis and teach you how to like do the samurai sword or swim or whatever the case is, because it's going to move. It's going to measure all your movements. Like right now, the Vive is one of the only ones out there that measures every point of you walking around. So I wonder why this floor is like this and not like the other one. I don't know. We're going to keep it like that though for now, because I don't feel like changing that up at the moment. I'm not sure why it's like that though. But yeah, it's one of the ones that measures your every movement. So if you wanted to make a tennis trainer, the program itself would be able to be like, oh, you're not swinging that right. And you look at like the Wii. The Wii kind of did the same thing, but just not nearly as advanced because it just didn't have the technology. Nintendo's always been kind of curious about the VR kind of stuff. You see it with like their Power Glove, and they did a few other things out there that were kind of like that. They had even had a headset for like the Game Boy, which was just a nightmare scenario. It was like all red and it made you have a headache after like 5 minutes. Trust me, guys, I had one. It was not good, but I do applaud them for trying, because they were really the only company out there who was even giving it a shot. So even if they failed, it was still like, thanks for trying, showing us that the technology isn't there yet, but now we can be quiet for another 10 years waiting for you guys to do something with it. And yeah, so now it's finally here. It's here, and we are ready for it. I've been ready for it for a very long time, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. But guys, I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. Again, I want to thank you all for coming out and joining us today. If you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Definitely helps grow the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. But more than that, I'd love to hear your comments. Write those little things down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about the game, or about the renovations. Let me get rid of this. Or about the conversation that we had today, whether you guys are looking forward to VR. Have you guys purchased one yet? And if you have or haven't, which ones are you looking at, and which ones are you going to get? Because just because I have my opinion doesn't necessarily mean it's the right one. And I would like to hear your experiences. And if you do have like the Oculus, let me know what you guys think of that one, because I'm really curious. I think that one's going to be pretty cool to play as well. So again, guys, I'm AC Gamer, and I will definitely catch you all next time.